on the 1010XL Magic YouTube channel. It's 93 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Sometimes you have a plan for a show and then news comes out in the sports world and you go, well, let me swerve just a little bit and veer to the left or the right. Before we get into all things sports, today is a very special day. One Josh Scobie's birthday.
Happy birthday,
happy
Scob.
birthday,
That's
Scob.
right.
Yeah,
So
man.
longtime listener and caller, of course. Caller-inner of
When
our
he
show.
feels like it.
And
Yeah.
Tonight is a very special night as
It
Dad
is.
Bods is going to play on the USS Orlando.
We are. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, we're really, really excited. It's I've been on the ship doing the horse's mouth. We did a day out there. Had Baselli out there before he was officially the Jags. Talked about his Hall of Fame and that kind of stuff. That was a few years ago. But we are so excited to be out there tonight. My Avery is going to come out and film a little bit,
Nice.
and get us on the ship. We are going to sing the song, my original song dedicated to my father and now my mother. She's in the third verse. So we're going to do that. But it's for a corporate gig. It's Guardian Insurance. They do a lot of government insurance, backing different contracts and whatnot. Very fascinating. But, yeah, they've heard us before. I think the CEO, a lady, really nice lady, she was the one that got us hired for New Smyrna Beach.
Oh,
So
okay,
there's a
perfect.
connection
Yeah.
for this whole thing. So yeah, we've got a new drummer. We're trying out. Trying out because we didn't even rehearse. But our drummer introduced us to him, and he's absolutely fantastic. Our bass player went to his house and went over all the stuff. So we're gonna play 4 sets. We're gonna rock it out. We're gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna sweat a
Yeah, I was
ton.
going to say,
I'll be
what's
a
the
little
over-under
toasty.
on T-shirts?
Well,
5?
let me just say this: most of my shirts, if not all, will be sleeveless and a
Okay.
little open aired, so at least I can breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't decided. Look who's on the line. Look, I haven't decided
I knew
if
it.
I go shorts or pants. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, most frontmen wear pants.
I
think.
would go shorts on
Yeah.
a ship. I
Yeah.
also would have a commercial fan nearby. But before
Yeah.
we get
We'll
to that,
see, yeah.
let's say
Tarps
hello.
off.
Yeah, tarps off,
Birthday-
exactly. Let's say hello to the
Birthday
birthday
boy,
boy as
yeah.
Josh Scobie has dialed up the phone lines. Hello, birthday boy.
Oh, I mean, I've been out of my truck all day long, and then I jump in my truck, and then here you guys give me a little birthday shout out. So I just wanted to call in and say thank you.
Well, you
Welcome,
deserve it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What were you doing? You playing golf? Were you doing some chores? What were you doing, Scope?
Hanging out with the family. I
Nice.
just wanted to hang out with them today.
Yep.
So that was the plan, and it's actually my 44th, which, if I do recall, that was your number, right?
Before I
Tommy?
turned to 55, yeah, I was that that white boy linebacker who's not supposed to make it. They throw 44 on him. That guy.
It's a great number. I don't necessarily feel 44. I think I'm still like 15, but
Mhm.
yeah. So it's been a good day. But thank you guys for the shout out.
Beautiful.
Well, you're most welcome.
Yeah,
and have you spent any time with Cam Little as of late, Josh?
Not as of late. I haven't seen him since he decided to go bleach blonde. But I did the same thing when I was his age, so I fully understand.
Okay.
But no. Yeah, I haven't been around the team much this summer because I don't like to go out and sweat like crazy for these practices. But no, we still, interact and text each other quite a bit.
Well, we
So,
knew you hadn't seen Travis
yeah,
Hunter.
looking forward to the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, have you been allowed to fish yet, Josh?
we-
Has your son brought you to fish with Travis, or what's the deal, man?
Still hasn't happened.
Not invited.
It's my friend, Dad. You go find your own. That's great.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
it'll happen, and when it does, I will call you guys and talk about the story because it will be pretty funny.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right.
Well, the story better include you having a bigger fish caught.
That's
than
right.
Travis.
You know he's going to try.
Heck
I'm going for
yeah.
the big fish.
Absolutely.
This
Well,
is big.
Well, that's the goal.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We shall see.
All right, Josh. Well, enjoy the rest of your birthday. Thanks for calling in as always.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday,
All
Josh.
right. Y'all take care.
Yeah,
You
man.
too. And of course, he was on the Key Buick GMC phone line there.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he'd be listening right when we gave him his happy birthday shout out, but hey.
Those are
worked
the
out
best
perfectly.
gifts. Just being with your friends, family, just hanging out. You don't get to do that a lot. As times we all get older, kids going here, kids going there. You get separated with duties of, little Jimmy's got to go to basketball, little Lucy's got to go to dance or soccer or whatever. You got to figure it out, So
Well, you were just talking about that for Father's Day, having all of
five. It was
together.
awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Yeah, no doubt. So what a great gift.
I don't know what age it happens, and maybe it's a different age for each person, but there comes a time when you realize that time really is the most valuable thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you stop worrying
Yeah.
about all the little stuff, and you just, appreciate the time that you get with certain people.
Well, I know this. I'm not living to 100, and 50's already passed, so I'm on the downhill slope. So, yeah, you better
call it
live
back
it to
then.
the fullest and enjoy every moment. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring, so you might as well try your best. And it's hard sometimes. There are days you don't feel like it. You feel like, but you come back around. The sun rises the next day, and, you'll be all good. Say your prayers, take your vitamins, and then get your workout in. You'll be just fine.
Taylor's still working on that ladder.
We're
part.
getting it.
I think she's working out. I can tell a little bit. Aren't you doing
Can
something at
you?
home? No?
So I have not fully started your workout, but I'm in the process of beginning everything. I also just got a bike, so I'm going to start
Okay,
riding
nice.
my bike around.
Beautiful.
So we're getting there.
There
We're
you
getting
go.
there into some activities.
Awesome.
How did I not know about the bicycle?
I just,
That's cool.
honestly,
Yeah.
within the last week, I was like, I want bike or skates, and I was trying to decide which because I used to skate all the time. That was my favorite activity
Okay.
growing up, and so I was a big skater. And I was like, do I want to do that, like roller skates, or I was more of like a quad skate, but roller skates are definitely easier when you're out on the roads. So I was trying to decide between that. I was like, but I feel like a bike might be a good start to just
Yeah,
get me out
heck
there
yeah, get
doing
the legs
something to
working,
begin.
man.
Yeah.
So
It's
beach
perfect.
cruiser, mountain bike?
It's
road
a
bike?
cruiser.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are the best.
Yeah.
I got a cruiser, too.
I'm not trying to race people.
I normally like the e-bike, the electric bikes. I
Sure.
normally like when they go by me, I kind of scoff at them. But
Ryan says cheater.
yeah, right. But
You
I
can pedal,
saw
too.
on the beach this past weekend. It's actually a friend of mine. He had one, and it got him through the soft sand like nothing. I was like, now
Oh.
that I could get behind. You know what I mean? Like
I do.
He was flying through. It's
Yeah.
like no big deal at all.
Yeah, we have to stay on the street.
Yeah.
If there's not enough hard packed sand,
Yeah.
the rest of us have to stay on the street, or else you're gonna topple
Tip
over
over,
and
right.
over, or you're gonna have to walk beside it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
love.
had it going
I've
on.
had my beach cruiser. My dad gifted me the one that I have now when I was 19 years old.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm a little bit behind Scobie. I'll be 44 next month, which I also can't believe, and still feel like I'm maybe not 15, but like 20 something.
Yeah.
And so
29.
I've been able to have that
19.
bike just taken in, every year, every couple years, and it's unbelievable that it's
Yeah.
still in such
Just going.
great shape. Yeah.
Especially living
Especially
at the beach,
yeah.
with the rust and
Yeah,
stuff that
well,
usually happens.
we do keep them indoors or
Okay.
in our
Yeah.
shed, so
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least that helps protect from some of the salt air.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it was left outside, it wouldn't be like that. But yeah,
Yep.
I love beach cruising. So now the three of us can
Yeah.
beach cruise to happy hour. When
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'll have to
buying
ride
That's
mine.
right. I'm buying, man. So
Yeah.
let's get it
Oh,
going.
that's true.
Yours is going to have to go in a vehicle to
Yeah,
come
to the beach,
out.
then
Yeah.
we can ride.
That's all right.
That'd be a long
Yeah.
ride down Beach Boulevard.
I
You
see
can
people
do
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is quite the ride,
Yeah.
especially the way home.
Oh, yeah.
Then it gets
Over the
tough.
Especially with
intercoastal
bridges. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I wouldn't make it.
All right, we'll get to some football in a second. Did want to shout out to Oklahoma for winning the
Yes.
national title in baseball last night, 13-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was pretty much drama free after the first couple innings.
Yeah.
Made quick work of North Carolina, but that's their first title since 1994. So
Awesome.
we are starting to see, I feel like, a lot more parity in a lot of the college sports. And so while yes, it's been SEC dominated for quite some time now. I mean, North Carolina easily, obviously, could have won this. And
Yeah.
obviously, too, when you look at the big picture of college basketball, the Big Ten, now football, college football, the Big Ten there, too.
Yep.
So, like, we're starting to see it spread around, which is kind of
They
cool.
both went with freshmen, right, to start last night. And North Carolina's guy just struggled, a little bit. He looked good. I mean, early. I mean, he's a big kid. He looked like he was going to do all right, but then it got ugly quick, Felt
And
like it.
Oklahoma was just so hot down the stretch.
Yeah.
That was just, I mean, it wasn't a team that was great in the regular season by
Yeah.
any means.
They got
Their
hot,
offense
though.
got hot at
they
the right
absolutely
time,
did
big
at the
time.
right time.
Yeah, that one guy hit like the most home runs since August, or I forget what date it was, but it was not that long ago, maybe May, or in the tournament. He's hit 14, a kid from Oklahoma. I don't know if he got any last night. I'll be
Probably
honest,
with
I didn't
13
watch
runs.
it
Yeah.
pitch to pitch. I watched the beginning, and then once they went up, I'm like,
I think that's what a lot of people probably did.
Yeah.
And it was time
And then
to-
you found other stuff to watch. All right, so we'll talk some Brendan Sorsby. We'll talk some top players in the AFC South, all to come. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
When the workday ends, the real conversation begins. Join the voice of the Jaguars, Frank Frangie, and insider Hayes Carline for the Jags talk, local stories, and a few laughs along the way. The Frangie Show, afternoons on 1010XL.
Joe C here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain. Ho, ho, ho. And royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage. And John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Go. Go.
Clearwater Irrigation.
At least do this part.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJax.com.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's the little things like a peach milkshake on a warm day that makes summer sweet. And now you can head to your local Chick-fil-A and enjoy a favorite summer treat again. Hand-spun the old-fashioned way, this refreshing milkshake features Chick-fil-A ice cream and peaches. It's the perfect cold treat to enjoy outside on a warm day or with friends and family after dinner. And it's here for just a limited time, so swing by your local Chick-fil-A and treat yourself today.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday, protected by Morgan & Morgan.
Homeowners, is your home storm ready? Now during the storm season sale at Renewal by Anderson, you buy one window or door and get one 40% off. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. There's never been a better time to protect your home before the next storm. But this offer ends June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Soccer fans, Michelob Ultra is going to pay somebody $90,000 to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026 final and bring the Superior Player of the Match trophy. Yes, I'm being serious right now. Got some weight to it. This is the real thing, people. Michelob Ultra, $90,000. FIFA World Cup 2026 final. You watch the match, you get the honor of carrying the Superior Player of the Match trophy. That's a soccer fan's dream come true.
Enjoy the beautiful game with a cold Michelob Ultra, the official beer of World Cup 2026. Come join XL Primetime this Friday from noon to 2 at Superior Fireworks in Orange Park during their America 250 pre-holiday sale day. Get some lunch and the lowest prices this Friday before the holiday rush. And mention 1010XL for the RD Explosion Shells offer.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. You've heard me talk about the Rolex my grandfather gave me for graduating from college, but there's something else you need to know about Rolex watches from an official Rolex jeweler for over 60 years. If you own a Rolex, probably today more than ever before, if you need that Rolex serviced, you should only visit an official Rolex jeweler. In North Florida, there are 4, with Underwood's 3 stores, and Mayors has 1. Anybody else claiming to work on Rolex has no direct access to parts, and the use of non-authentic Rolex parts jeopardizes your Rolex from both an authenticity and a value standpoint. At Underwoods, we have state-of-the-art Rolex repair shops, both designed and outfitted by Rolex and staffed by Rolex watch technicians trained by Rolex. And best of all, our shop is on premise, so your Rolex will never leave Jacksonville, and our Rolex repairs carry a 2-year warranty. At Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Tuesday is going a little bit better than one Brendan Sorsby's Tuesday when he found out earlier that the NFL declined to hold a supplemental draft this summer. That means that Brendan Sorsby could be drafted in 2027 by the NFL draft, but he is not able to be signed as a free agent for the here and now. He could play for the UFL, but basically the NFL is saying you're not welcome in our league at least for 1 year. And of course, this comes after he elected to not go back to Texas Tech and stop fighting with all the different things going on there, the conferences and other schools wanting to not even schedule Texas Tech. So at this point, I feel like, he has an option. His lawyer, of course, is going to try and fight it. His lawyer is making a boatload of money these days.
For sure.
But I feel like if I'm his family, if I'm someone in his camp, I would say go play in the UFL for a year. And then if you play well, absolutely, the NFL will draft you in 2027. But, by the way, there's a lot of good quarterbacks that we've talked about that will also be in that draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, they've made a clear statement. We don't want this in our league at least for a year.
Yeah.
The NCAA say, they'll do whatever, but we're saying this. We're saying, you know what? You need to sit out a year, figure it out, take your medicine, and reapply. He ain't the first one that, in any field. Like, sometimes that happens.
Yep.
Go take a back seat, figure it out. UFL, 23 UFL players have signed with camps this year.
Yeah.
Right, this season.
Yeah.
Right? So you got a chance to get to the big show. You just got to take a little bit longer to get there.
Yeah.
And not to make a joke out, but like I said, I think last week, go watch Underdog. Watch Kurt Warner. He was struggling, man. Even when he got to sign to the Rams, March didn't even like him. Didn't want to play him, didn't want to do anything. And then little by little, he won him over. So, hey, look, we make decisions. I'm not going to bash the kid anymore, but you make decisions. You got to live with them. I like it in the mere fact, for the fact that it does send a message.
Yeah.
It does say, hey, Kate, there are a limit. Now, will this hold up? We don't know yet. You know what I mean? Who knows if that
lawyers will do
kind
their
of stuff
thing.
holds up. He might appeal. It might go to the Supreme Court. Oh, it's kind of craziness. So who knows how it ends? But at least initially, they're making a statement, and I think it's the right thing. Now, if they let him play, it just falls into the other guys that have gambled or done other, whatever. They let him play. You'll figure that out, but. I don't mind the statement. I don't mind the decision. I think, to be honest with you, it sends a great message for not just for young people, but for everybody. There is repercussions to what you do. There are. And whatever that is, you got to face the music sometimes. We made mistakes.
Yeah.
I made mistakes. My history, I've had troubles in my past, when I was younger and whatnot, with the law and everything else. I've done some things, but you had to take my medicine from time to time. You just got it. It's part of growing up.
Yeah.
And you can, look, if this was a one-time thing, different, but it's not. It's thousands
We would
of
have
times.
a totally different conversation.
Forget about it.
If he had gambled once, we would all say, forgive the kid. Right. Let him play this season at Texas Tech and
even
move
if it was
along.
10 times. As long as it wasn't your team.
Yeah.
Or,
$90,000 worth of time.
That's way too much.
And there's obviously, and I've been vocal about it before, there's obviously things that I wish the NFL stood their ground on more and made a point about more and other situations and other things that happen around the league. Yes, stuff like that. I wish they were more vocal and put their foot down and wanted to teach lessons and make a point in some of those things more than they have.
But they don't stand to lose money when that type of stuff goes on. They stand to lose money with gambling because if their league is found to be not credible, the league would fall apart.
And for them, it like at the end of the day, it is about money for the NFL and everything they do. But I do think that in this sense, they are also trying to make a bit of a point that we've used this integrity word and the gambling thing, and we saw it, with all those Lions players. They were very quick to say, you guys are suspended a year, you guys are suspended 5-6 games. This is what it is. And so they are that's one thing that they have set this boundary for. And if you get caught doing this, you get X games. If you get caught doing this, it's a season. If you get caught doing this. The interesting part is that was already the conversation was there's the possibility that he may, miss a season or be suspended a season. And teams were like, I still want him.
Still want a shot
so
at
it's
him.
interesting that they pull the trigger right now in the sense of just being like, okay, we're going to protect our teams because we don't want them to waste a draft pick of next year and then not have him, even though teams were willing to do that. So it's a little interesting in that, but I do feel like in a way they're just trying to make a big point right now. Like, we're serious about gambling, and you've got to understand that it's not for us. It's a big deal, and that's being very much told in a move like this.
And they're they're digging deep on this kid, to make sure that he's not gambling anymore or doing. Who knows what they found? You know what I mean? I don't know, but they'd have to do an investigation on him to make this decision. I would think.
And that's the thing. I don't think there's enough time in between now and when the season would begin, or really even training camp begins in about 5 weeks, for the NFL to do the proper investigation.
Well, it's still the supplemental draft, which is what, the 22nd.
I don't think they had set an actual date, but
they just said end of July.
Coming up. But between now and the supplemental
you
draft,
can find out a lot in a month.
You could, but
without question.
My guess is Roger Goodell has a group text with the 32 owners, and he sent out a text that was
what
like,
do you think?
"Hey guys, we're not having a supplemental draft this year."
Yeah.
I understand some of you guys would have taken him with maybe as high as a second rounder.
It's too close to home, maybe.
But that's not what we want our league to be known for right now, when we have had to suspend players. And that Kayshon Boutte one, I feel like that gray area probably ruffled some feathers in all of this too. Like, wait a minute, why didn't the NFL take action for him? Even though, yes, he did it in college, but the NFL has overarching power to do whatever it wants to do.
Well, and they're seeing the criticism that Texas Tech is getting right now over all this and how they handle it. So they have to be seeing it from this outside perspective of, if we let this guy, even if we suspend him, but we allow him to come into the NFL, there's going to be people that are like, wait, we thought you hated gambling and betting, and you had all these strict rules, and a guy that did it before he was even in the NFL, you allowed to be a part of your organization because you're suspended, but you'd still be a part of some team. And so maybe in a way they're like, we don't want to be involved in the negative look that Texas Tech is getting, and I feel like it's going to just kind of unravel. There's enough storylines in the NFL that they already have to worry about trying to get people to calm down about in certain sense, and they don't want more negativity surrounding their product, because that leads to money, and that leads to people talking negative about a product that you are trying to make look good right now.
Yeah. And I think the PA still has to agree with everything, right? Even though the NFL is like, hey, we're laying this down. Because the CBA, I think, gives them that opportunity to, they can fight it, I guess. Or
what's interesting is he's not yet a part of the NFL Players Association. Yeah. So I don't know.
He would be if he got drafted, though.
Right. But his attorney, Jeffrey Kessler, said that the decision from the NFL is a violation of the collective bargaining agreement, and they intend to pursue the players' rights with the NFLPA. But this player hasn't signed a contract to be even involved yet in the collective bargaining agreement.
There's a loophole for future player, I would imagine.
I don't really, I'm not obviously an attorney, never going to pretend to be one, but it doesn't seem like they have a leg to stand on. But again, we've seen judges decide to give temporary injunctions for players that common sense all along, Bediako said, this player should not play.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting. I mean, look, the CBA, they're the ones that came up with the supplemental draft. I think there's some in there with the NFLPA, at least from what I'm reading, that they may be able to challenge the decision if they choose to do so. They may not.
Why would the NFLPA, with players that, like a Calvin Ridley, that have been suspended for gambling, why would they want to back Brendan Sorsby? I would imagine most NFL players want him to serve some sort of
I'm not saying they would. I'm just saying they have the right to challenge it, I guess. So I'm sure they're going to look into it as well. They may not. They may say, you know what? No, we can't fit you in this year. You're going to have to, again, take your year off and work on your game, and I'm sure I don't know, go play D2.
Yeah.
Division 2 would take them.
I don't
a little
know
bit of money.
If they would, because that's still under the NCAA.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
I really think his option is UFL or bust.
Or
sit out.
CFL,
sit out, but I don't know if you want to sit out a year. And that's what it's interesting when it comes to when you were just talking about if the Players Association has a say. It'd be interesting to see how all of that works, because you got to think after the draft, for example, technically the players get drafted, but until they sign that contract, they're not officially a part of
the union.
Yeah. And they still have, like, the Players Association still votes on stuff in that time frame. So there must be some gray area where somebody who is draftable that you were talking about still has some sort of conversations to be had between the Players Association.
Goodell already had the conversation, said, hey, we're going to do it. They're like, we're not going to fight. Who knows? We don't know if they're going to fight it or not. And maybe they came to that agreement. Look, this is a good thing for us, right? Because think about all the sports betting and, that one thing I find hypocritical. You got guys like Kurt Warner saying, hey, if you have a gambling problem, call this number, 800. But go ahead and gamble. It's just a weird thing. So maybe that's part of that. Like, let's not add to what some people aren't for anyway. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? But at the end of the day, Brendan Sorsby doesn't look like he's going to be in any kind of draft in 2026.
Yeah, I really thought that we had reached the point where the story would kind of quiet down. He'd have his pro day, so people would talk about him in a positive light because most pro days go really well. He would maybe be drafted, let's say, with like a conditional 4th round or something along those lines, or a pick in the 4th round for the supplemental draft. And then it'd get quiet during the NFL, time off, and then there would be maybe conversations about him competing for a backup spot or something like that, and then the season would start and we wouldn't even talk about him again. But certainly in the news that when it comes to the 2027 draft, these are the other quarterbacks he'll be potentially competing against: Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Jaden Mayava, Julian Sand, Drew Mestamaker, CJ Carr, Trinidad Chambliss, Nico Iamaleava, Darian Mensah, Lenoris Sellers, and then of course, Mr. Sorsby.
UFL. I mean that doesn't start till the spring, so would you even do it? You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
You miss the fall. It's over.
Yeah.
Let me go work out. I'm not going to be, maybe I'm not a high pick, but I'm still be selected. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, then you got to wait till the spring, and then you put, maybe, I don't know. I would think you're young enough to say,
play
hey,
at a JUCO school? Is that still under the umbrella?
Could be potentially
Could you go back
allowed?
to JUCO?
Maybe. I don't know how the NCAA feels about that. They recently said that they're not going to count JUCO towards
the eligibility.
We saw that with Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And then
that's the only fall football you'd be able to play at this point in time. Or football probably, because you're most likely not going to start in spring. Arena. But that's done next month.
Right. Well, you know what? Too bad. Don't gamble. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't feel bad for the kid. I know there'll be people out there like, oh, that's so bad. Listen, the kid put himself in this situation. Let him dig himself out. It'll be all right.
And I said a couple weeks ago, I wonder if in the beginning when this came out, if he just straight up came out and said, I screwed up. I'm sorry. I broke college football rules, so I'm going to leave because I understand I want to, respect the integrity of the NCAA and college football, and I'm going to enter the supplemental draft at that time or whatever. I can't remember when all this first started. It feels like months ago. But if you did that in the beginning, would there be such heated conversation about it? Because also the NFL would have had more time to go through the investigation at that time. And so maybe they would be like, okay, well, yeah, he is going to be suspended, but we'll let him enter the supplemental draft. He's just going to be suspended a year or 6 games or whatever the case may be. Instead, they appealed and drug it out and made it worse and made himself look worse and Texas Tech look worse and the NCAA look worse and the judge look worse. And now it's to this point where it's just like it unraveled in a way that I don't know if you can pull back for a while.
I'm not a rehab expert, in any kind of rehab, but I know people that have gone to rehab. Sometimes 35 days doesn't do anything. It just doesn't.
Oh, no.
It barely leaves a dent. So, he still made all those bets. There he went, well, let's go to rehab and get you fixed up. And who knows if he is or not. I mean, that's what I'm saying, like 35 days. Like, I don't know. Does the kid still got it in him or is he totally out of it? You don't know until you talk to him and do the dive, right?
Yeah, I wonder if there wouldn't be any sort of legal ramifications if the NFL had allowed him to go through the supplemental draft and then they had suspended him for a year.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it is he's truly part of the CBA and the NFL players, he signed the CBA, he's a part of the NFLPA. And then the NFL says, okay, you're suspended for a year and there's no appeals at this point in time because Roger Goodell, obviously the commissioner, is over all that.
You're going to get drafted. Right. You're going to get a salary. You're going to be part of the team in the organization, but you're not playing for a year.
Yeah. Right. Because now I do wonder if with the appeal and involving the NFLPA, potentially if we'll see some sort of legal battle for him to be able to enter the supplemental draft.
It gives more negative attention to the topic you do. Somebody on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures said if you're serious about gambling, then every sponsor that sponsors the NFL should not be about gambling, which it is right now. They're talking out of both sides of their face. And to me, that's a lot of it too. It's like, you can't do this, but we're going to make so much money off of what we tell you not to do. And that's why I think there's a lot of pushback. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Players Association pushes back in that sense, where it's in our face every other commercial, and there's stadiums that are logoed with it and all of these different things, and then you're not even letting a player enter the supplemental draft because it's too much of an integrity issue.
Yeah. Well, we talked last week, there's rules you can gamble.
Yeah.
You just can't do it on the NFL or near the facility.
Yeah.
But as a college student athlete, you can't gamble at all.
Right.
Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll of course keep tracking the story. But on the other side, Tom will bring us his take today. You are listening to Helmets and Heels 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make sure your property is ready. Weak, damaged, or overgrown trees can become a serious hazard when storms move in. Trust the experts at Lucas Tree Service with over 45 years of experience for professional tree trimming, removal, and storm preparation. Don't wait until a storm is on its way. Schedule your tree assessment today at lucastreeservice.com.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday
is served by
Morgan & Morgan.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate mascot and cultural ambassador.
Summer is a perfect time to have your garage floor coating installed. With our chemicals drying even faster in the warmer weather, it's a busy time for us, but we can still keep our prices surprisingly affordable.
And with 0% financing available, you can enjoy your floor now and pay for it later.
And Chester can enjoy his fancy British tea that I have to pay for.
I do enjoy a nice Darjeeling, Brendan, and the quality is important.
And at Checkmate, the highest quality is our minimum standard.
On flooring and tea.
Gorgeous garage floors?
Check. Perfect installation?
Check. Easy payment options that make your great new floor affordable? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the moment we've been waiting for. With new treatments emerging in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia, now is the time for hope and action. Held in over 600 communities nationwide, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest fundraiser for care, support, and research to fight the disease. So get out, get moving, and join the Walk to End Alzheimer's, November 7th, downtown Jacksonville. Join the movement at alz.org/Jacksonville.
Did you know your roof ages from the inside out? By the time you see a leak, damage already exists beneath the shingles. Sun exposure, humidity, and seasonal storms slowly weaken roofing materials over time. If your roof is 15 years old or more, then now is the time to start planning, not reacting. At Endless Summer Roofing, we provide professional inspections and clear guidance so you can make informed decisions. Visit EndlessSummerRoofing.com to schedule a free inspection. Endless Summer Roofing, protecting your home from Florida's endless summers.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Ace Carline here for Atlantic Infiniti, and yes, I'm still loving my new QX60. Right now, you can lease one or lock in just 1.9% financing for 60 months, and every new Infiniti comes with the Atlantic Infiniti Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. No pressure, no games, just a great experience. Make your next ride an Infiniti from Atlantic Infiniti. Visit AtlanticInfiniti.com or the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Time to find out what's in the brain of the lead singer of Dad Bods.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
All right. My take on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon is It's centered around the dad bods. You know, look, we started in 2019, like December. My lead guitarist and I, he would play out at these parties, and we sometimes sing, you know, and just kind of hang out. And then one day he's like, hey, let's start a band. So we did. Well, guess what? At 2020, he could no longer do it because of COVID. So me and the other guys, 3 other guys, we formed another band called Sideways with a Z. We played a couple. We played a couple gigs. Sideways went sideways, and then we got the band back together like later in 2020. And ever since then, we've been playing together and getting better and getting better. My reason of bringing this up is we started just from like a little idea, like, hey, let's start a band. And I'm 50, right? Like weirdo. And my wife's like, what? You're doing what? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then look where we're at tonight. We're on board the USS Orlik, who was a major contributor in the Korean War, like a massive warship, battleship. It's going to be a great corporate gig. We're going to film it. It's on the river downtown Jax. Like, if I could do that, like, it's not like this, you know, enormous thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm keeping it in perspective. It's pretty cool.
No, that's very
It's pretty cool that we've gotten to this point. So, chase those dreams is my take today. And I know this, and you'll know the singer that does it or sings it. I love it. Dreams don't chase themselves. So you got to chase them. That's my take. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan for the people.com. Do you know that song? You do. It's one of my wife's favorite.
You do.
He's got a raspy voice. He's got a cool. It's a
country singer.
Yeah. Till you can't. Till you can't.
Oh, Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson.
Yes.
Till
Okay.
you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go. Yep.
See, pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Till you can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great job.
All right.
Now I expect you to add that to the set list tonight.
There we go. I think if our man's listening, he might put it out there.
That's
At
true.
least
Yeah,
tonight.
dreams don't
Yeah.
chase themselves. Yeah.
They don't.
That's absolutely true. Look, I think when we
I
think
remember
about artists, like music artists, some of them start just like Luke Combs started playing in front of just like family and friends,
Oh, yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then eventually, the moment that they sell out a bar, sell out the next stop, right? Like he sold out the Florida Theater. Then you move up to the arena. Then eventually one day you're playing in front of a stadium as the headlining act. Like those have to be all sorts of like pinch me moments.
Yeah.
And I know it's on a different scale for
Totally.
your
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
You guys aren't trying to achieve worldwide fame
No,
by any
no,
means.
not at all.
But it's still a pinch
already
me
have that.
moment. Yeah. It's still a pinch me moment. Like
It's cool.
It is.
something
And
that started
especially-
off as just an idea.
and you enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
like the music side of things. I think that's another cool thing to kind of put out into the world is don't be afraid to like try new things and experiment with things because you never know when you'll find a new hobby or something you love or whatever the case may be. When you started the band, had you already did you know you could
No.
you were a singer?
No, I'll tell you a funny story, or if I may. So, me and my lead guitarist, who's still there, Daryl, John Hanley was gonna just help us in the beginning. This guy had like a what do you call the synthesizer type drum kits in his spare bedroom in Ponte Vedra. So we go there, and all we have is like an amp and a microphone with a speaker, whatever, like a karaoke thing. And he's like, let's play Highway to Hell. I'm like, what? From AC/DC. I'm like, it was awful. It was brutal. I went home. I was like, this just ain't going to happen. I don't know. Anyway, we started just working on it. I started practicing more and more. And I've said this before, like, maybe not everybody, but I think a lot of people have a range. You have a range that you can sing. It might be low, it might be high, it might be somewhere in between. And then as you work at it, you can get a little bit higher or lower.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I really do. I think if everyone worked, you could find your range and you'd be a pleasant singer. You may not be this great singer, but you could hold a tune when you're hanging around, sing with your friends,
You
your
have
family.
to be able to sing on key. I think that's in your range, yes.
Yeah.
But not everybody can
That's
hear
true.
it properly.
Yeah.
And so therefore they can't sing on key. And then that's when you get those
And I'll be honest with you,
cringy karaoke moments.
that whole key stuff confuses me.
I understand.
I don't even know what it means, to be honest with you.
But
The tone,
you have
the key,
the
the
note,
whatever.
like you know how to you hear a note and you can match it. And some people just can't even do that. Not saying you have to know what like C minor is because that's even more in depth for it. But some people just my cousin Lindsay, and I'm sorry if you're listening, Lindsay, but she embraces it. Like she knows she's the worst singer in the entire world.
She just has
no
fun.
matter what it is, it's off. And I'm like, it's happy birthday. Like just that's all you gotta do. And so some people just can't match what they hear and like they think they do. So and then you're like, no, that's not right, you know. But you have like at least the music and then a lot of it is people that are really love music. You listen to it all the time. So you just kind of like those notes, you get used to melodies and different tones. And maybe you don't know what the note is called, but you can hit it, you know?
Right. Yeah, get to it.
Yeah.
So, but while we're playing now, like me and my lead guitarist, we always look at each other and just kind of smile like, isn't it funny how we went from that room, with me, you and John, to like playing at bars and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
and it survived through COVID, which I think not everything obviously can say that, right? Like certain establishments or other people's bands. Like I remember one of my friends in their neighborhood, there was a guy that played music at bars all the time. But then, of course, during COVID, that shut down.
Yeah.
So he would play in his guitar. And then she was like, well, can we come over and listen? Like, we're craving some live music.
Absolutely.
So then we went over and we would listen, just prop up our little lawn chairs and hang out and listen to live music. Like, when you stop and think about how emotionally just isolated a lot of people were in that year, 2 years, whatever it was, you think like, man, we have it so good now. It's almost crazy to think that the beach was shut down for crying out loud at one point in time.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
No,
I
not at
remember
all.
that.
It was like a month.
No.
And that's what, because there was a band we've talked about on here several times, but Julia Gulia, during that period of time, they would do live streams, like their full band live streams for people, because I do think that during that period of time, it was when you're so used to and you rely on not technically even like going out and drinking, but just going out and socializing and having that music element of things and whatever. And so they fully embraced that, which I thought was really cool, because it's like, how do we keep our people happy, but also do what we enjoy, and that keeps us going too. So that, honestly, the amount of live streams of them that I watched throughout 2020 kept me going through a lot of those times when it was everything kind of just weird.
Listen, music, I mean, it helped me a lot. Music heals. Doing this whole
Still
thing,
does.
like, I don't want to say save me, but it filled something I needed filled, and it's been a blessing for sure. So we're going to have a great time. We're going to rock it out. We're going to put on a good show. I'm going to sweat a ton and, just get after it.
Not with as much, though, with your breezy shirt.
I did. By the way, remember I told you I clipped the shirt?
And I told you just keep cutting it.
Well, no, a new one came in yesterday, so I switched it. My wife was like, how'd you do that? I got excited, opened the package, and I snipped just a piece.
I got excited. It's like, I really want this shirt.
Anyway, I took my time.
And you saw the America and the USA, and you were like, let's go.
Yeah, I was so pumped. But
I love it.
New one came in, and I opened it nice and slow last night. So.
Good job.
Yeah,
do you order more packages than Christina?
No.
Okay.
Kidding me?
Okay, yeah.
That poor delivery. I mean, the dogs bark every single. The poor guy. I'll tell you one time, I didn't know they were coming, and I opened up the garage, and out the boys went, and this poor guy froze.
He was like, oh, God.
And he was like, ah! But I yelled quick enough to where they wouldn't do anything anyway.
Okay.
But they'll come up to you, like if you don't know them, they're gonna check you out. And he was like, he froze, and I was like, it's okay, man. He's like, man, I don't like dogs. I was like, I get it. I brought him in right away, but it was pretty funny.
You
but
can tell-
Especially German Shepherds can look scary too. If you're like, I would have been like, hug me, but
and you can tell if the delivery people like dogs or not. Like, because ours is behind a glass door that's locked, but like some people like wave to our dog, and they're like, no, he gets in the picture, and other ones have this look of like, do not open that door.
And it's so funny because Keaton's just like fluffy and like, hey.
But some people, it doesn't matter what they look like. They're just not dog people.
Yeah.
All right, so from Tom's Take to Taylor's Tangent we go, and then at 3 o'clock we will get into the top 10 players that we believe are in the AFC South as far as offense and defense. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Good friends, great sports talk, and summer on the First Coast. 1010XL.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Covered by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
It's Men's Health Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you that early detection matters for prostate health. If you're over 40, now's the time to get checked. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So don't wait. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Make Capital Glass
Glass and Shower Doors, your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're like most of us at 1010XL, you have a list of things you want to get done before football season begins. Make an appointment today to check out Closets by Design's new showroom on Phillips Highway, especially the awesome man cave with a full bar. Closets by Design can customize the perfect entertainment space for you to gather for game days. Call 904-878-9393 to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation, or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
Hey guys, Hicken here. The 4th of July just around the corner. I don't know about you. I don't want my family and friends running around on filthy carpet. Guess what? Flash sale time, baby. Call and book Zero Res this week. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $135, and you get a hallway for free. Flash sale, that's right. Get 3 rooms for $135 plus a free hallway. So this week only, visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them 1010XL sent you for the flash sale.
Zero Res.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your backyard with Superior Fence and Rail. Get the fence you've been wanting with 12 months financing and no interest, so you can enjoy more privacy, more security, and more curb appeal without the upfront stress. Make your outdoor space ready for summer. You must have credit approval from our third-party financial institution. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. You were expecting Cody Johnson, and
I like this one too.
He decided to keep you on your toes
That's
and
right.
play little Queen. I
That's
like
right.
it. But ever since you said that, now I've had that line of that song. If you get a chance, take it while you got a chance.
Yeah.
Just on repeat in my head.
Yeah,
I can't get it out
makes
now.
sense. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Sure.
say I love you. Like, you never know. You might not be able to
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I love the concept
Love
of
it.
that song, but every time he says chance so
Yeah.
many times in the song, that's all I can ever hear is chance,
Right.
chance, chance, chance. And I'm like, okay, then I didn't focus on the words and I'm like, it's really good, but I hate that there's so many chances. We need
Yeah.
another word for chance so I can like
Opportunity. We're
There you
ops.
go.
If you're Liam Cohen.
Yep.
All right, let's give away some Chick-fil-A here in a second with Taylor's Tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Shout out to Chick-fil-A. The peach milkshake for summer is absolutely delicious. And I have learned recently because I would always get kind of some of the rundowns and talking points for Chick-fil-A. And I've even on break been like, it always says ice dream in the scripts and the talking points, and I wonder if that's a is not supposed to be it, or if it is what it's called. Found out one of our interns who's actually sitting back there with RJ used to work at Chick-fil-A, and he's like, nope, that's what they call it, is ice dream, not ice cream. So for people that didn't know, now I know. But the peach milkshake is delicious, so swing by there this summer. It's only here for the summertime, but it is absolutely delicious. So
I dream, you dream, we all dream about ice cream.
Yep, exactly. So I have a cut I want to play for you guys. We were if we just pile on the NFL today and all of the things that they do wrong, I guess, is what we're doing. But George Kittle went on a little bit of a rant. He was on Pat McAfee, but a few other podcasts in the last couple of days talking about some of the things that he feels aren't right when it comes to the NFL right now and player safety, and things that maybe they focus on too much and other things not focus on enough when it comes to their players. So, RJ, if you want to play this clip, we'll discuss it a little after.
Put me on a soapbox, man. I mean, if you can put grass in MetLife and in SoFi, I think you could do that year round if you really gave. I mean, that's my opinion. Like the players, I think if you polled every single player, I would say probably 90% would hit. They prefer grass field, and I'd say 10% would say they don't care. But 90% of guys, they prefer to play on grass, and so it's just like, well, you just show that you can do it. So then why don't we do it? Because that's what the players want to do.
It's a simple math of like the NFL is billions and billions of dollars, the most popular sport we have. The thing you'd want to protect more than anything is the health of your players, because when good players are playing, the ratings are higher. When you lose quarterbacks and you have a Monday Night Football game with like a backup and a third string, like it's just simple math. It's like, do the most you can do to help the players. So we're with you on this one.
I've talked about this a lot in other areas where I do feel like when they get upset about the pink cleats that Max Crosby wanted to wear for his daughter, or whatever the case, they get on these high horses about things that I just don't think are that big of a deal, and then don't worry about stuff like this. And then all of a sudden he had another comment, George Kittle had another comment in the same interview talking about not wanting to go to Australia and play, and with the same sentiment. Like, that's a lot of travel for someone, and asking them to get on a plane and do all of that travel, then play a game, and then get back and possibly have to play a game, that next week or a week and a half later. And so he kind of is like, they contradict themselves when it comes to player safety and what they want. You want to change the kick return because you feel like it's affecting player safety. The hip drop tackle you want to affect. You can't touch the quarterback anymore. And there's all of these things that they want to change, that players are more worried about some of these other stuff. When you look at the injuries at MetLife, the list is so long of the amount of injuries that have happened on that field. And then all of a sudden FIFA World Cup comes here, and it's okay, we're going to put this nice grass out, and granted it's a lot of money, we know it, but the NFL makes a lot of money, and it's also
15 stadiums have turf
out
of the 30 stadiums.
It's almost half the stadiums.
That is half,
and that has linked to a lot of injuries. And so when to me, it's just the NFL's weird in the sense of they pick and choose what they want to kind of really rally around. But I feel like what you should rally around, what George Kittle and that was Big Cat, what he was just saying, not McAfee, but what they were saying was your players, like that's what make you all of your money. And the amount of like star players that we've lost on some of these fields because, and not saying it's directly linked because some are kind of freak, but it has been some direct links to it being on these turf fields. And these are the guys that are bringing your money. And I do think you will have a Monday night game without Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow playing each other. All of a sudden, those ratings aren't going to be what you want them to be. So you would think you'd have a little bit more initiative to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it should be all grass, but keep in mind, you can get hurt on grass, too. I mean, Travis Hunter got hurt on grass. Baselli hurt his knee on grass. Both my injuries came on grass. I mean, it does happen. Yeah. But those turf fields, I mean, it's old and outdated. I mean, come on, let's move on and make sure it's as good as it can be. There's no doubt. Look, the league, the owners, they're a little contradictory, and they're getting greedy, I think. I mean, do you have to go to Australia? I mean, could you not sell a package that they'll watch your games without you ever having to go play a game there? You could. You could. You're doing it because it's a revenue maker, and maybe it'll bring more fans. I get that. But you're not taking into account of what the players go through or the coaches go through or any of them go through. That's still an 18-hour flight. Yeah. You know what I mean? Have you ever?
London's 8. That's at least a little bit, 6 or 8, somewhere in there.
What's that?
London. That flight's not nearly as long. So you can grow the game internationally and still not go as far
a day
as
away.
Australia.
I mean, to leave right after a game or the next day and then get on a flight for that long. And if you got any injury at all, that is setting you back big time. You may not be ready for that next weekend's game. So, they should do a lot. Look, I'll get on a soapbox. They don't give us former players any chance to have a really good insurance policy. We get insurance for 4 years after you're done. For your family, it's great. And then it's off. There's not even a plan to where you can buy into, which makes no sense to me.
No,
like,
it doesn't.
Look, I'm not asking you for free health care, but what I'm asking you for is some big-ass group plan that you 32 owners could probably put together that's really beneficial and top-notch and wouldn't come out of pocket a ton for your players, I would think, but you don't see that at all. You don't hear that at all. So they are a little, look, they're contradictory with the domestic violence and then the gambling.
Sexual assault and all that.
It's still the greatest
They're totally
thing.
hypocritical.
Yeah. That's why I love it and I watch it and I put a lot of money into it, but I do think there's things that need to be fixed. We talk about it at college football. All we do is complain about college football half the time, and then on Saturdays we spend 12, 13 hours watching the games. That's just part of our job is to show both sides of it. And one of the stats that I did see in the thread of this was that players have a 28% higher rate of non-contact lower injuries when playing on turf. So that's
lower body injuries.
Yeah, lower body injuries, 28%.
Yeah. I mean, get them all grass.
Yeah.
Make it as bad. Why wouldn't you make it as great?
If FIFA, which is a totally corrupt organization, can manage to do it, I think you guys can do it. By the way, a bad day if you're a fan of Uzbekistan. It is now Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 0.
Yeah,
so,
not a good day.
Yeah, not a good day. At first, it was 2-0 Portugal, and then thought Uzbekistan scored, but the goal was reviewed.
Yeah.
That's the VAR, obviously. And if you're watching on the stream, and it was called not a goal. So you went from, and that was in the first half, you went from thinking like, okay, we just closed the gap a little bit to now again being down 5-0, and there's just a few minutes left in that one. So Portugal will get the victory today. All right.
And I did real quick want to give away lunch before we get to break. So
we've already had multiple people call. Wait till the end.
I promise you I'm giving away lunch. So we do have free lunch for 2 to Chick-fil-A. So if you give us a call at 641-1010, let's say caller number 2, you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A today.
Love it. And get that peach milkshake ice dream. Sounds amazing. AFC South will be our topic when we return. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
From the west side to the beaches.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue.
1010XL.
There's a place on the corner of Cherry Street.
Your hometown station.
You trusted a medical professional with your care. When that trust is broken, the results can be devastating. Medical error can leave patients and families facing unanswered questions and lifelong challenges. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards & Raggets helps you understand and protect your legal rights after medical negligence. No fees unless you recover damages. We're here to help. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards & Raggets, offices Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan.
Frank Frangie here. Truck buyers, listen up. Right now at Nimnick Chevrolet, you get 0% financing for 60 months on a new Chevy Silverado. 0% for 5 years. Rates haven't been this low in years. Plus, Nimnick Chevrolet's got the largest selection of Silverado trucks in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Here's what's better. You know they're going to treat you right. I've been buying trucks there forever. I trust Nimnick. It's a great experience for me. It will be for you, too. The best rate, the best prices, the best service. Where? Well, that's easy. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
This is David Lane. You probably heard me talk about Southeast Orthopedic Specialists by now. Gotta tell you, they're not dragging me in here to do this. I volunteer to share my good experiences. Whatever your level of discomfort is, let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS.
This is David Lane, and I seriously recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
How wide is home plate in baseball?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The home plate in baseball is a generous 17 inches wide, although most major league pitchers would think otherwise.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hacker here, and I've had a lot of conversations with buddies of mine in recent weeks and months about, this weight loss deal or this shot they're taking or this pill that suppresses their appetite. And I stop and think, man, I was lucky to find Awaken 180 weight loss. No shots, no appetite suppressants, no pills that they give you and say, all right, we'll talk to you in 2 months. You get real coaching. You get real knowledge. You get a real plan to lose real weight. And more importantly, keep that weight off. Awaken 180 weight loss is the best program I've ever been on. I lost over 100 pounds. It gave me my life back. If it's time for you to get your life back, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. No shots, no medication, just knowledge. And as we all know, guys, knowledge is power. Awaken 180 weight loss.
I'm Chris Wayne with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by USA Park Airport Parking. Team USA is back in action against Turkey in the World Cup on Thursday night. Get ready with a Frangie Show pre-match party at the Lemon Bar in Neptune Beach from 4 to 6. The Florida Gators received a commitment from kicker Aaron McWilliams yesterday after an outstanding performance during their Friday Night Lights camp. McWilliams is the 8th-ranked kicker in the nation. It's 94 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
You can tell your old man you'll do some largemouth fish in another town. You just got too much on your plate to bait and cast a line. You can always.
Now everybody else can have it stuck in their heads as well. Good old Cody Johnson, till you can't. There is a bit of sadness, in this story too, or this song, I should say, which is always based around a story when it comes to country music, I feel like. But yeah, there are people that we've lost, right? And so this song kind of makes you nostalgic because you can't do certain things with those people anymore.
Great song. I mean, that's what music's all about. Get you to feel.
Yes.
Happy, sad, crying, laughing, yelling.
Yeah.
Run through a wall.
That's right. Speaking of crying, did y'all have time to read the Players Tribune article that I sent you on Jan Diamande?
No,
I did not this morning. I'm going to read it this afternoon.
Okay,
though.
I will. I'll check it out.
So he's the one who we've talked about.
Got to prepare to cry, apparently, because if you and JJ are crying, then I'll definitely cry.
Yeah, he plays for the Ivory Coast. We talked about him because he spent a brief period of time in Yulee High School. And his sister passed away when she was just 15. And so if you have time, go read the article or the Players Tribune story that he wrote. And it's really emotional, but really well done, too.
Cool.
And you get to see a different side of him, which we always talk about how much we love here. All right, top 10 players on offense in the AFC South, top 10 players on defense. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I want to give you the overarching view for me of when I did my offense for the AFC South. It was way easier for me to do the defensive players than it was the offensive players. It took me a few different times through in thinking about the teams to be able to come up with 10 offensive players without giving a bunch of Jags just to fill the roster or to fill the top 10. So to me, the defensive players in this division, I think, are better collectively than the offensive players in the division.
Yeah, I was similar in the sense of, well, at first I was just making like top 10 overall. And that's when I texted you. I was like, are we splitting this up? Because I don't know if I want to just do the top 10 players. Because it was almost all defensive players for me on that top 10. That's just how stacked it is. Several of those also being on the Texans defense, because they're just insane. And then, so when you go through, I was like, man, this is difficult. But I had a similar sentiment when I was going through, where I was like, these defensive players are no doubt absolutely studs, where I'm like, these are, to me, the top 10. And there's honestly some where I wish I could fit more in those top 10, but with only 10.
There's an honorable mention.
Yeah, there's a few for me. I listed like 4 or 5 that I was like, I could fit them on there, and you could easily kind of rotate some of these guys out towards the bottom of the list. Offensively, I had a top where I was like, okay, this feels easy, and then it slowed down, and I really had to think about it. And I think you do have to. There's so many things when you're valuing too, like the value of an offensive lineman and a wide receiver and a tight end and a running back and a quarterback. Sometimes that quarterback, you feel like, okay, it's the most important person on the field, you feel like, but then you still are like, okay, but is this player better technically? If you took that player on, put him on another team, would he immediately be successful? And so my mind was going so many ways when I was building this. And then it'll be interesting to see how many similar and how different our lists are, because I do think if you would poll 100 people, everyone would have a different version of a list for both of these.
Yeah, the way I kind of did it was splitting offense and defense, and then the positions, and then each team, and who I would pick out of those groups. Like for quarterback, it was Trevor. I'll give that away. And I'll give away running back. It was Jonathan Taylor for Indianapolis. Doesn't mean there's not other QB or runner, but that's how I kind of did it, and then went through the list. Like O-line, who were the really good O-linemen in the AFC South? Wrote them down for each team. There's some Jags, the whole thing. So then I went, okay, I got my group. Then I kind of ranked them, not ranked them, but just, and then put them up and got my teams for the most part. So
when it comes to quarterback, it's interesting you say that. I only have one quarterback in my top 10 in the AFC South as far as offensive players are concerned, and it is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, me too.
And that to me speaks volumes of obviously what happened here last year, but also that the other quarterbacks, we honestly wouldn't have even considered them to be in the top 10. Now, CJ Stroud can have a bounce back year. Daniel Jones, before he got hurt, probably would have made this top 10 list. And obviously Cam Ward is just a rookie last year. He's got a long way to go. But I wonder how many other divisions, if you went to do the top 10 in the NFC North, you would have multiple quarterbacks. The AFC North, you'd have multiple quarterbacks. AFC West, like there's almost, I don't know of any other division, maybe like the NFC South, you'd have Baker and maybe Bryce Young, but and I don't know that people would put Chuck in there yet, but for the most part, you see what I'm saying? The other divisions would have multiple quarterbacks in the top 10.
And that's what, to me, also, as I was thinking about it, it's also changed multiple times within the last few years, because after 2022, you were probably putting Trevor, and then you have CJ Stroud, and then you were probably having none. Honestly, this time last year, I probably wouldn't have either of them. I wouldn't have had Trevor or CJ Stroud in my top 10. And then now Trevor's back into it. So that's the interesting thing about this division, is it has been kind of a roller coaster with the quarterback. So this year, I do think will determine a lot. It would be fun to do this at the end of the year and kind of compare the differences of who's made that jump into the top 10s and who's fallen out, and then including the quarterbacks for sure.
I also looked at Madden ratings just because I was curious. Because I feel like those not directly correlate to a player's performance, but certainly those guys, obviously the players get excited about them too. They want to see where they're ranked as I did it. Okay, so I'm going to go through the ones that I think we'll all have, and then we'll move on from there. So we all three have Trevor Lawrence.
I do have Trevor.
Okay. We all three, I'm going to guess, have Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
All three have Quentin Nelson?
Yes. I do.
Okay.
I'm answering for both of us.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sorry. No, you're good. Do we all three have David Montgomery?
I do.
No, because you had Jonathan Taylor.
Well, yeah, but so in all transparency, I got to 8.
Okay.
And I haven't figured out the final
and see,
2.
That's
but
what I
as
was
we
saying
go,
is,
I'll probably
the AFC South doesn't have those stars, those studs. All right. Do we all have Nico Collins?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And then this is where I think it gets interesting. Alec Pierce?
I do not.
Okay.
But he is on my runner-up.
I got him on mine.
All right. He's on mine as well. Tony Pollard?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Top 10?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And then I'll tell you my other 3 are Jaguars after Trevor Lawrence. I have Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas Jr., and Anton Harrison.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, and Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
My other 3.
Well, with all due respect, I think Tyler Warren's a better tight end than Brenton Strange.
And you can have him over him for
and
sure.
I love Brenton a lot, but Tyler Warren to me is a different, unless they use him like that, But Tyler Warren's a special player.
Yeah. He's on my runner-ups.
Yeah.
I just think there was a big
I've got
drop
Anton.
off for
Did we
him.
all have Anton?
I had
I did
Anton.
You did not have Anton. I have P-Wash. I think P-Wash is
All right,
one
so
of the...
2 of you have him.
But I don't have Brian, and I'm on the fence with Jacoby.
I could make an argument for all like we've done
make an
all
argument
summer
for-
long.
Jacoby's
yeah.
10 on mine.
You look at how many of my damn readers? It drives me insane. I'll say for linemen. So we mentioned Quentin Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Braden Smith. I think he's a very good tackle. I have Anton. We mentioned Quentin. I think Ezra's one of the better guards, but I didn't write him down. But I think he's up there.
What about Laramie Tunsil? Would he be in the conversation for you?
He's in. He's,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's
I was thinking about last year.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
The kid Gronkowski.
Peter Skronsky's on my runner-ups.
Yeah, he's.
Quentin Nelson's the only one that made my top 10, but I had Kevin Zeitler, Skronsky, Anton, and Cole Van Lanen in my runner-ups that
Okay.
could easily, quickly leap into mine.
Yeah,
Bernard Raymond's a good tackle too. I had him as one of the better players. I didn't put him in top 10, but had him right there. Then you look at Brian Thomas, maybe, depending on the year he has. So I didn't put him in there just because I didn't think that was right. I do have room for Montgomery, so he would probably move up in my book.
Pollard's had so many 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah,
That's
he's
how
like
I was-
5 straight or something like
Yeah,
that.
but if you look at touchdowns,
Yeah.
per year,
Yeah.
David Montgomery has basically double what Pollard
Well,
has.
and I guess I should
The
do this,
offense
but
has
I'm
just been
forward
abysmal, though,
thinking.
too.
I'm forward thinking. Like
Yeah.
Montgomery, I think is going to be a big addition.
Yeah.
For Houston.
Yeah, if you put Pollard in the Detroit offense the last couple years, I think you're seeing even more yards and probably a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Titans offense has been abysmal.
Yeah. Now the Texans left tackle Ursery. I don't think he would make the top 10.
No, I don't have.
So what are your top 3? What are the orders you have your top 3?
I didn't
Oh,
do
you
a
just said
specific
who
order.
would
I
be.
just said,
Okay.
the top 10. So you had said you only had one Jaguar if you did only top 10. And who would that have been?
And it was actually a defensive player. I only had Foye Luikin making my top 10.
I wasn't sure if you'd go Josh Hines Allen or Foye Lewis.
Yeah, I had Foye.
All right, so
just
we'll get
because
to-
there's so many defensive players, it's
So many
a list
defensive
of
players,
defensive
for sure.
Yeah.
We'll get to the defense on the other side. I love the interesting takes that everybody had when approaching this too. I thought about how you could look at it as if you're a team drafting, like who would you want, right? Like who would the Texans take off of the Jaguars roster is one way I looked at it since the Jags and Texans went obviously back and forth last year. And I was like, well, I think the Texans would take Trevor. They may say they'd take CJ Stroud, but either way, around the league, I think they'd take Trevor. I think the Texans would take Brenton Strange. Brian
Schultz
Thomas
is good
Jr.
too. I
maybe.
think Schultz is kind of under the radar.
He
I
is
ended up
underrated.
adding him. He's actually on my list. I didn't list him. He's up my 7th on my list. So I did have Schultz on mine. I think he's under, like he doesn't get talked about as enough because I also think their offense has struggled in the last couple of years where you don't talk about him enough. But I mean, he had almost 800 yards and I'm trying to think how many touchdowns, 6 touchdowns or something like that last year. So he's definitely a weapon. I just don't. I feel like he's a little underrated.
And the Jaguars would take Jonathan Taylor and David Montgomery.
For sure.
Maybe
right now.
Tony Pollard for sure. They'd take Quentin Nelson.
Yeah.
I think they'd take
They'd
Nico
like
Collins. So, that's again how I looked at it. All right, we'll get to defense.
Fair
You are
enough.
listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer update. Cristiano Ronaldo has answered the bell after a disappointing performance in the opener and a stellar start to the tournament for stars like Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. The 41-year-old showed up today in Houston as Portugal wraps up a 5-0 demolishing of Uzbekistan in Group K play. Ronaldo started the scoring with a 6-minute finish. He is the first player to score in 6 different World Cups. He added another in the 39th minute and was the decoy on a Nuno Mendes free kick goal in the first half. Portugal grabs their first win of the tournament to go top of Group K. Coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern, it's Harry Kane's turn as England takes the field against Ghana in Group L action. Both teams looking for their second win to cement their spot in the round of 32. England coming off one of the performances of the tournament against Croatia. I'm Lucas Panzica, Westwood One Sports.
O'Reilly.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with our limited edition O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner while supplies last at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get 2 cans for $8. Our professional parts people can recommend all the parts and supplies you need for your brake job. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready to gear up for the final stretch. Henkel Summer of Soccer Sweepstakes is giving fans the chance to win U.S. Soccer store gift cards to stock up on everything you need to support the home team. Last chance to win, enter now. No purchase necessary. Starts June 16th and ends July 31st, 2026. Must be 18 and a resident of the contiguous United States. Sponsored by Henkel. Henkel, proud partner of U.S. Soccer.
Summer is made for road trips, beach days, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their trusted technicians can handle your oil change, fluids, filters, and more, all while you stay comfortably in your vehicle. No appointment needed. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, it's easy to see why drivers choose Valvoline. Get road trip ready today at Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Backed by
Morgan & Morgan.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust, because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
If you missed it, get it on demand.
And you send those out on the line.
Online. Find your 1010XL favorites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com. Channel 5. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Repairing or replacing your roof is a pretty big investment. So when that time comes, you can trust my parents at Endless Summer Roofing. Visit endlesssummerroofing.com for a free quote. Endless Summer Roofing, protecting your home from Florida's endless summers.
The Poker Atlas Tour is blazing its way through Best Bet St. Augustine, now through June 28th. Get in on the action with 7 poker events, highlighted by the $600 no-limit Hold'em title event, boasting a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. And dive into the action of Event 1 with an impressive $100,000 guarantee. Join us at Best Bet St. Augustine for the Poker Atlas Poker Tour. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
You lost your swing. We got to go find it.
It's your Saturday morning swing adjustment.
Grip it, rip it.
Get the golf tips and talk to take your game to the next level. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
Good people drink good beer. And great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect pair for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
Big PY needs your help. After my life-changing car accident in 2022, the Patrick Young Foundation was built to help individuals and families rebuild after spinal cord injuries through hope, encouragement, and real financial support. With Reps to Rise, we're challenging you to walk, run, lift, stretch, swim, and complete 629 minutes of movement during June. Join me Saturday, June 27th at Four Corners Park with First Coast CrossFit, and Sunday, June 28th at the Gym Jack. Go to py4foundation.org for the details. That's py4foundation.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to sit and talk with you. We were both 16 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night.
That's such a young person's thing. Sleeping all day, staying up all night.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you slept until 2 p.m., Tom? Unless you were sick,
Never.
right?
I mean, forever. I remember the long naps in college now. 2 hours, two and a half. Holy cow. Like in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Be out like a light. Now I nap for like 20 minutes.
Power nap.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. But yeah, no.
I mean, that's just a teenage
never.
thing, or like,
well,
I guess college
when I
thing.
bartended, I would. That was the last time. When I stopped bartending, sleeping
those
in
late
didn't
nights
happen.
can
Yeah,
be-
because you weren't getting off until
3.
midnight sometimes after. Like, because I was Outback, so I wasn't like at a beach bar.
Yeah.
But you still, by the time you close and get out and get home and eat and shower, it's 2 or 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
and you've been going for 12 hours. And
Yeah.
that was the last time
Well,
I probably slept
I
that
know
late.
this. When I was home, there was no sleep in at all, no matter what time you got home. My dad was lifting his weights in the family room, and you were hearing the clanging early in the morning.
Family room?
Oh, yeah. He would have these
nice.
guarding gloves, and his pajamas on, and his high tops not tied, and he thought that was really cool. And he'd be doing his curls and his military presses, at age 70 to 75 and 74 before he got ill. And yeah, there was no, he'd always, my dad woke me up, he'd grab my big toe, I'd be like, all right, time to get up. He'd shake my leg.
My
And I'd be
big
like,
toe.
Dad, I don't care how late you are. Get up. Go help your mother. She needs help in the kitchen.
And parents don't really like to see the laziness, like what they perceive as laziness, right?
Yeah.
Like they've been working, like they want their kids to get up and work and do chores.
The old school guys like my father, they could drink all night and they get up at 5 in the morning.
yeah.
They
That
don't
was my
even
grandpa.
talk about it.
My mom
like
was
no
a
big
sleeper inner. My mom would sleep, like, I'd miss the bus because my mom wouldn't wake up in the morning, and me and my brother would have to wake my mom up and be like, we got to go to school. And my mom's like, oh, okay. She could sleep and still can sleep until 1 or 2 in the afternoon all the time. She's just always been like that. She's a big night owl, though, and I'm just.
Stay up late if that, I'd
I
rather
think
not.
sleeping in at this day and age is like 8 a.m. If I sleep until 8, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I was
like
able
on a
to.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I tend to like get 7:30 in on a Sunday. Then I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's great.
I've been going to church really early on Sundays, so that's
Okay.
not
Get
sleeping
you
in
up.
as much, but it's Saturdays. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane before we get to the defensive players.
Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Just a Rays stat for you. Over the Rays' 9-17 skid, they've scored 3 or fewer runs, including 4 shutouts in 14 of the losses. That obviously has not been a good thing. And when they were 34-15, including a 22-4 run, they were 9-1 in 1-run games. So amazing how a team that you think is built to be able to handle those 1-run games all of a sudden forgets how to do it and now is losing, including last night's 2-1 loss. So just want to mention that. And then a World Cup update, like we said, Portugal won earlier today 5-0 over Uzbekistan. And I mentioned Yan Diomande. Ivory Coast is 1-0-1, so 1 win, 0 draws, and then 1 loss after beating Ecuador 2-1, and then beating Ecuador and then losing to Germany 2-1. So that was a really hard fought game.
Yeah,
Germany versus Ivory Coast. And then game 3 for Ivory Coast is Thursday at 4 p.m. versus Curacao. Yesterday, I don't know if y'all were watching, but we had 2 goals from Lionel Messi, 2 goals from Kylian Mbappe, and 2 goals from Erling Haaland.
So the stars are scoring.
Yeah.
The studs have come out, and it's been so much
Ronaldo
fun.
got
to
one
watch.
today.
Yeah, he did. He scored in the 6th minute earlier today. And so then when it comes to later today, we've got England, Ghana at 4 p.m. That game's in Foxborough. We were talking about how they have to cover off air, cover all the Gillette symbols and the logos there. Panama, Croatia at 7 p.m. in Toronto tonight. And then Colombia versus Congo DR in Guadalajara, Mexico tonight at 10 p.m. So we'll certainly keep you updated when it comes to those tomorrow. But let's get back to our AFC top 10 rankings when it comes now to the defensive players. All right, I'll start with the few that I am once again going to assume are on all 3 of our lists. Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
Yes.
Highest paid, obviously, defensive tackle. First one to get $100 million guaranteed. Will Anderson Jr.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Daniil Hunter.
Yes.
Derek Stingley Jr.
Yes.
I'm going to name all of the players on the other teams first. DeForest Buckner.
Yes.
Yes.
Sauce Gardner.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And then here's where I think it could get interesting. Do both of y'all have Kamari Lassiter?
I do not, but he is in my runner-up.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on my list, but no, not top 10.
Okay. And then I'll go to my Jaguars on my list. Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, and Foye Oluokun.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
On your
else you
top
got?
10?
Yep.
So for me, the defense, like I said, was really easy. So Taylor, it sounds like you and I have 9 out of the 10 the same, and then you have someone different than Kamari Lassiter.
Yeah, I have Tarvarius Ward as my ninth.
Cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
I got Cam Bynum in there, and I got Antonio
my
Johnson in there for Jags.
Okay.
I
He's on
think
my
he's
cusp,
one of the
too.
best safeties in the AFC
like it.
South. Trayvon's on my list. So is Foye, no doubt. Josh Hines Allen's definitely in my top 10. I got him ranked pretty high. I also got John Franklin Myers ranked pretty high.
He's on my runner-up.
He's one of the better guys in there. Blankenship, maybe a runner-up. Pretty
Yeah.
good safety out of, but I'd still take Antonio.
Yeah, I have some runner-ups. A lot of the secondary pieces, because for me, Cam Bynum is in that. Cam Lassiter's in that. Jalen Petrie's in that. Jordan Lewis, Antonio Johnson, like all those guys I had just like right outside the cusp for me. And so it was a lot of the secondary guys, just because, I mean, I think one of the things that stick out the most, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Jeffrey Simmons, DeForest Buckner, and when you Foye Oluokun, Trayvon Walker, Josh Hines Allen, like the defensive lines when in this division are loaded, and that's all around. It's every single team has one or two guys that make my top 10 or right outside the cusp of it.
Yeah.
And then, I honestly debated Trayvon. I put Trayvon at 10 on my list, and I was trying to decide if I was going to put Trayvon or one of those cusp guys for me, like a Lassiter was right on the borderline, just because I feel like, you have the back-to-back double-digit sack seasons, but they're sandwiched by very underwhelming years, and I need to see you stay healthy. I need to see that I feel like you just got paid, and I expect double digits out of you if you're going to get paid like you were talking about Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. If you not saying you have to be exactly them, but I need to see something closer to that to be able to put you in my top 10 next year.
So true linebackers, we only have one in our top 10s. Yeah.
I love Foye, and I don't, it's just. Here's my top 10 on defense, if I may. I got Josh Hines Allen, Will Anderson Jr., Hunter, Simmons, Franklin Myers, Sauce, Derek Stingley, Antonio Johnson, Cam Bynum, and DeForest Buckner.
So no linebackers on yours.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know. I mean, who would I? Maybe
Aren't you a former
Franklin
linebacker?
Myers and put Foye in there.
And you don't have to.
But you're only as good as your D-line. You got to have a D-line to play a good linebacker.
Yeah.
Unless Ray Lewis.
And we talked about this off air, but Travis Hunter doesn't make any of our lists for either wide receiver. I mean, for offense or defense, whether it's wide receiver or cornerback. And it's just because we only got the 7 games, obviously had the injury, the season-ending injury. And so there's just too many question marks there. The other reason that we wouldn't maybe put like a Carnell Tate on offense.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we have absolutely no idea.
Right.
Yeah, could end up being really good. And I mean, Nate Borkature could end up being really good. None of us were ever going to consider him in the top 10.
Yeah.
And look, Daniel Jones, if he don't get hurt, he might be in that list. I don't know.
100%.
Who knows how he finishes if he stayed healthy, but obviously you can't give him that. And look, people could, people be like, well, Trevor only did it half a year or, partial of the year. You know, but
and
we still think
but good enough to be an MVP finalist.
Yeah, he's definitely in that top.
I will say the one other linebacker that I kind of considered, and I hate it, but he's a really good player.
He's on my list too.
I
He's
thought about
right-
him, but
he
I
was one of my
was never going to talk about him.
I was like, he's just one of those players when you look at rankings everywhere, Azeez is like the second best linebacker in the AFC South on almost every single ranking or stat or list you want to do. He just has that dirty side that a lot of people don't like, but he's a really, really good player.
He's a wicked good player.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I did have Lassiter on my list.
Okay.
I had Sheldon Rankins, and I
like
gave
Rankins.
Devon Hamilton. I thought about, well, who's the better nose than Devon?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned him.
I don't know if there is right
Yeah.
now. So I put him on the list. Not top 10, but top guys. That,
Honorable mention for
yeah,
sure.
whatever. Yeah, sure. If you want to call it that. Antonio, I think Antonio's just, 5 picks. He's all over the field. I mean, he's
If Devin
a
Lloyd
really
was
good
still a
player.
Jaguar, Devin Lloyd would be in the
on
top
all
10.
our list.
Yeah, he would be.
And ETN would probably be in the top 10 as well.
Yeah.
If he was
Oh,
still
yeah.
a
They
Jaguar.
both make those lists, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that when you look, I think there's a list just looking at the Jags of this. There's several guys that I think could easily make the list by the end of this year. Travis Hunter is one of those guys that you expect to be on this list by the end. I think a Buster Brown could be making some of these lists by the end. I think there's some other guys, and then maybe a Brian Thomas Jr. if you see what he did before. So I do think there's a Tootin. Yeah. I think there's several of these guys that you've seen. I have to see it out of Tootin. Like Tootin, I still think is a question mark. We've seen Brian Thomas Jr. do it, and we've seen Buster Brown do it. And so can those continue to develop and kind of continue on the path that they've been? But even when it comes to the offensive line, the offensive lineman that I had on the cusp, Cole Van Landen, if he comes back healthy and has the season that we saw last year, some of those guys, I think it's really easy for several more of the Jaguars to land on this list. With that being said, all the other teams added a ton of players this offseason, so that list could change very very also.
Yeah, I got Strange on my list. I just don't have him. I think Tyler Warner, I got him over Tyler. But, I was also looking at, like, what would your O-line be if you just had AFC South offensive linemen? And I couldn't find a center, that I really, like, other than Hainsey, but I thought, that'd be.
And that you love.
But
that'd
also,
be a stretch for me to say he's one of the
of
top.
all positions on the football field, as long as the snap goes off correctly, we're not closely monitoring the center unless the running back's, trying to go behind him, right?
I watch this. Yeah, I mean,
you do watch the center.
I mean, either he's getting knocked on his ass or he's knocking someone on their ass. So of course. I mean,
I tend to
I'll
watch
tell you
the tackles more.
Now
and the
I
guards
watch
more.
it more when I watch the tape, but not during. I don't rewind it during a game unless it's like a wicked good block.
I'll tell you the highest rated center on this list is Tanner Bortolini on the Colts.
Okay.
And by a good bit. The next center, I don't even know if it makes the list.
What is the metrics on that?
There's a lot of things that
Like
they
for center,
talk about. Well, this center, and it depends where you look. Like if you go to PFF, they break down everything, like pass block and pass block, run block. They'll talk about penalties. All of that stuff
Sacks
is combined.
given up.
Yeah. So it just depends which list you look at, but PFF goes through all of those specific, and you can break it down. You can say, hey, the best run blocking center, and it will give you, which ones have the highest.
So
run
who's
blocking.
would Anton be in that top 5 old linemen?
I had him in my
AFC
top 10.
South?
I think so. He gave up one sack last year.
Yeah, he's the first. I'm trying to think. It might be the first right tackle.
Okay.
Going through. Oh no, Trent Brown. They have a little bit ahead of him. Oh, and Latham. So it's Latham, Brown, and then Anton on this list, but very close, like within 0.7.
Yeah. I thought Latham struggled a ton last. Isn't he the big kid out of Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was having a tough time. Maybe I was wrong on that. Yeah, it's interesting. I like to, look, I mean, I think, metrics, they tell part of it, and then whatever you see on film, I guess,
Yeah.
But if I
to
think
combine
Ezra's
everything.
for the least, not maybe top 10, but in that old line, I just think he's a really good guard.
Well, notice we didn't have a lot of offensive linemen in the top 10.
No.
It's hard to do that, too. It's hard for me, and that's what I was saying when I was going through the offensive linemen. I was like, man, what are you valuing? Are you valuing your right guard or a really good edge rusher? Like, which one are you putting higher? And that Quentin Nelson to me is the most obvious that you have to throw on any list. Even if I'm just doing a top 10 of the whole AFC South offense defense combined, Quentin Nelson is making my list. But I don't think any other offensive lineman does.
I also think for offensive, I do too. For offensive lines, it's also not just each position individually, right? Like we talk about the consistency so much. It's also the side of the line, right? Like not talking about the center, but the left side of the line, the right side of the line. Those two guys, the guard and the tackle on each side, what they can do together matters so much. And so it's really hard, I think, to separate out one position versus one side of the line.
Well, and another thing, center and guard, they help each other out too. And sometimes, I should say a lot of times, sometimes we don't know the call. We don't, not the play call, but the protection call. And it looks like someone gets beat, and then you rewind and you're like, oh man, he went the wrong way, and the guy just came free. So that's now it's an error, but it's not like you got beat by the guy. You just you went right when maybe you should have went left. And you think it's so easy because he's standing right in front of you. Why wouldn't but that's the thing. You don't hear and if there's an audible, if QB audibles, and that old line's got to block it a little different, you know what I mean? Not everyone gets the audible. Not everyone, so it's kind of hard to really, figure out what's really good. I mean,
it's the same thing we talk about drops. There's like that weird area where you're like, was it the quarterback? Was it the receiver? Was the route wrong? Was the in place? It touched hands, but he had to stop and turn the opposite direction. You'd
want to rewatch certain games like with Liam, Like, all right, Liam, what do you see here?
Yeah.
What went wrong?
Well, I tell you one thing I like to, like, if you can, like, you're looking at the screen, right? And you don't have to stare at it, but try to see that line in between the lines and see who pushes who. You can tell. Like, you don't have to look at one person. You look at the whole line, and if you just focus on that, you'll see who's winning the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And it might, change, but you'll get a good feel for that. You can tell when guys are stout, on their blocks and getting off them and hitting the back, or their block can't get off them. The backs, you can see it.
And it's why going back and watching film is great, because when you're watching it live, you watch the ball for the most part. You're going to see everything on the field, but especially if you're watching on TV, you can't necessarily always see the entire field either. And so it's hard to watch it all. Unless, if an O-lineman whiffs.
I always look at the QB after he throws, just for a quick to see if anybody's going to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always enamored by a QB that'll step into a throw and then just get his clock. And I'm always like, oh! And then sometimes it was not as bad as I thought.
Sure.
And then sometimes it's like, oh, man, that was
hurt.
That had the
That Broncos game. Oh, don't forget that one. All right, the golden moment is on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels. 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Get the goods on Gainesville 24/7. Search 1010XL Gators on YouTube.
It's Men's Health Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you that early detection matters for prostate health. If you're over 40, now's the time to get checked. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So don't wait. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Helmets and Heels Tuesday.
Litigated by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The birth of a child is a time of joy, but when complications during delivery lead to injury or death, families are left with lifelong problems. If you believe a medical mistake contributed to a birth injury, protect yourself and your family by understanding your legal options. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards & Raggets helps families evaluate medical negligence claims. No fees unless you recover damages. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards & Raggets, offices Jacksonville.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your backyard with Superior Fence and Rail. Get the fence you've been wanting with 12 months financing and no interest, so you can enjoy more privacy, more security, and more curb appeal without the upfront stress. Make your outdoor space ready for summer. You must have credit approval from our third-party financial institution. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Everyone's loving the incredible free finance offer at Beard's Diamonds, but you have to hurry. Time is running out. You have until 6 p.m. on June 30th to get zero interest financing for 5 whole years. This extraordinary offer will not be extended, so don't wait. Beards has the engagement rings, the wedding bands, the earrings, pendants, bracelets, case after case of exquisite jewelry she wants. You can get the lowest price now and then spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Take a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet. Get Beard's value price, pay zero down, and pay just $100 a month for 5 years. In a world of high interest rates, this is almost too good to be true. But it's happening now through June 30th at Beard's Diamonds. Beard's Diamonds, the only local jeweler at the town center, giving Jacksonville the selection, value, service, and quality you deserve. The big box chain stores can't even come close. So hurry in to take advantage of free financing. Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. On approved credit, see store for details.
Hey, it's Greg, and if you've seen me around the 1010XL offices, I'm now down 29 pounds thanks to Awaken 180, and honestly, I feel fantastic. I'm sleeping better, moving better, and apparently I'm even walking faster. My son came home from college and said, Dad, it's night and day. He couldn't believe how much weight I'd lost. Some people have actually started referring to me as skinny, which I haven't heard that in decades. What I've really noticed is the mental side of it. You know, there's something powerful about seeing progress, feeling better about yourself, and knowing you're moving in the right direction. And the support has been incredible. My Awaken 180 coach, family, friends, coworkers, they keep encouraging me, and it's helped me turn better choices into real habits. I'm more than halfway to my goal, and it's actually getting easier. If you're a regular guy like me who's put this off for too long, don't wait another week. Awaken 180 helps you lose weight fast, but more importantly, teaches you how to keep it off. Schedule a consultation today and see what Awaken 180 can do for you. Awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment today. I don't know how golden it is for Brendan Sorsby because he does not get to enter the supplemental draft as the NFL has declined that. So there's no path for him right now as it looks to even be in the NFL. I saw Adam Schefter talking about it earlier. They haven't even technically approved him to enter the draft next year either. At this point in time, they're going to go through the investigation and we'll see from that. So at this point in time, he is probably looking at some possible other outlets of how to continue to play football if he wants to. But staying in the college football world, there was some breaking news coming out when it comes to the NCAA. The NCAA just approved a major eligibility proposal. Athletes would get 5 years to play 5 seasons with their eligibility clock starting when they enroll in college or turn 19, whichever comes first. So one of the things when you're talking about not letting them play until they're 28, 29 in college, this will, for the most part, I guess, eliminate it unless they enroll in college when they're 25.
Right.
Yeah.
Or 24.
So the oldest will be 24 probably in that regard. Good. I mean, it's just like you get your time and then you're done.
Yeah.
And I don't, listen, things happen. You get injured. You lose, I get it. You lose a season. You lose 2. It's just part of the, not everyone's lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you could ask all my old teammates, would you still play? They'd be like, hell yeah, I play. Yeah, I wish I could play forever.
Well, especially now
But
if you
can't
get
play
paid
forever.
in college.
Yeah, exactly. So the good thing about him, from what I've read, is he will keep some of his money that he already got from Texas Tech. Like, they're not going to go after that. At least they weren't. Now, will they now? I don't know. But maybe if he walks away with some Johnny in his pocket, you know what I mean?
Right away, I'm like, is he going to gamble that?
He
away?
might. That's his problem.
Now he's
if he
allowed
does.
to.
Now he
Yeah,
can do
he's
whatever
like-
he
But
wants,
if I'm him, I wouldn't do that to try and show that I.
If he really wants to
look it
play
over.
football, you don't. If he's in
He'll
the
find a
world
way.
where like it feels like there is no path for me and I don't want to anymore, then honestly, go get a deal with DraftKings or Underdog
Whatever.
or something because they'll be able to.
Well,
pay you
first
some
of all,
money.
as we've learned from interviewing our draft class, their connections and whatnot, these guys take all different paths. I mean, Zach Durfee was not even playing football at Sioux Falls, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't even playing.
Yeah.
And then he ends up being a draft pick. You know what I mean? Like, come on, that's you don't don't know how it can happen. So
But you have to keep your head down and keep working.
you got to keep going. Yeah, you got to keep going and just hope you're still young enough. You have plenty of time.
Yeah.
I know this is going to sound a little silly, but if I'm him, maybe like if you got the money, like go overseas and go to a really cool country with great looking women and go be the quarterback for a year. Go have the time of your life. You're young enough. They've got these,
They do have
different
professional
football
leagues,
leagues.
yeah.
They're playing ball. It's not like, super duper, but they're having a good time and it's organized football.
Or
you
play
could
flag football.
you could go to CFL, I guess. You could try the Canadian route. It's a little different, a game, a little wider, but work on your game there. The UFL, I think, I don't know if I do it because if I got to wait till the spring, the draft's in the spring, like, let's just go for the draft and see what
unless
happens.
they say you can't play, and unless you can't enter the draft next year, and then that's the path you have to take is UFL.
I guess now if they're going to ban him after, like, I don't agree with that.
Me either.
Come on, give him a year. I think it's well enough time to do some self-reflection and figure out that I'm not going to do this again. Or guess what happens? I don't get to play the game that I love and that I could be good at and maybe be good at and make a lot of money, right? So maybe maybe it won't. It'll all be up to him. But a year's enough. Like, give me a break. You can't ban the kid from the league, I don't think. Now, unless you've done your digging and he's still gambling right now. That 35-day in rehab was all just a front. He still went, but it was just like just to show that, oh, look at me, I'm clean now, I'm done now, that kind of thing. We'll find out. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but a year's enough. A year's enough, and then give him a chance to figure it out. He can figure it out. If you're good enough, they find you. That's real. I don't care what school you go to. If you're a good enough football player, they will find your ass.
But
It's
you
that
also have
simple.
to behave.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Follows the
of course.
rules.
Yeah, exactly.
gotta follow some rules.
All right, there was some NBA news overnight. We'll get to that when we return. One segment to go before we turn it over to the Frangie Show. Keep it right here. Locked and loaded, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
It's almost time to kick off the 2026 season at the bank. Whether you want to be at the center of it all as a season ticket member, lock in 3 or more games with a bundle at the bank, or cheer on the Jags at your most anticipated matchup, there's a way for everyone to be a part of the action. Seating is limited, so don't wait. Secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Hey, I know how awful it is to get injured out there, but never due to someone else's negligence like many of you. If this speaks to you directly, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. Over $30 billion recovered for all of their clients. All they do is win, 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 and that's why they're biggest and the best. And guess what? They don't get a single dime unless you do. A proven track record with backup. I know that's hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, you get paid. Dial pound law on your cell or check out forthepeople.com.
What makes a company a great place to work? The Jacksonville Business Journal is now accepting nominations for the 2026 Best Places to Work Awards, recognizing companies that go above and beyond to create outstanding workplace cultures. If your company is building a workplace where employees thrive, now's the time to be recognized. Nominate your company today at jbjevents.com. Deadline is June 26th. Jacksonville Business Journal Best Places to Work, because great companies are built by great people.
It's a Helmets and Heels Tuesday, backed by Morgan & Morgan.
Happy Father's Day to all you fathers.
Absolutely. Happy Father's Day. Well, thanks, guys.
Wow, I wonder how many fathers out there would love a new outdoor kitchen under their new pavilion or screen enclosure from Lifetime Enclosures.
I bet most would. Imagine having the entire family over and cooking a barbecue feast for everyone, protected from the elements.
I'd like to cook for Dad. Jacob, do you think you could? I think so, Pan.
I bet both you guys could.
Visit Lifetime Enclosures website or visit our showrooms today to experience the Lifetime difference and ask about our Father's Day specials.
Lifetime Enclosures.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Prosser here. The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tourney on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. If you want to pick Brazil to win it all, Brazil is trading around 7% to win. That means a $100 trade pays out around $1,300 if they win soccer's biggest prize. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your positions. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code 1010XL to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
When it comes to orthopedic care, experience matters, and teamwork matters even more. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, our fellowship-trained specialists work together to treat a full range of conditions, from knees and shoulders to spine, sports injuries, and joint replacement. You'll be guided by the right specialist for your needs, with coordinated care and personalized treatment plans designed for better outcomes. Smarter care, faster access, trusted expertise. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, we've got the NBA draft tonight, but more importantly, Giannis traded from the Bucks to the Heat. The Miami Heat's title odds went from 40-1 to 14-1. Meanwhile, the poor Bucks, their title odds went from 250-1 to 500-1. Yeah, I would not say exactly bet on the Bucks to win it all, but the Heat.
How about it? Jimmy has them. How about that? Owner of the Browns gets rid of Myles Garrett. Owner of the Bucks sends Giannis. Giannis, two of the biggest names in sports. What are you doing, Jimmy? I don't know, but
Bobby
good for the
Portis
Heat.
is like, I left too. I was also part of the trade. No one's ever talking about
3 first-round picks. Man.
Which similar to the Browns and the Rams trade with Myles Garrett.
True.
They're obviously building towards the future.
Oh, yeah.
And similar to the Kachuk trade,
Yeah,
too.
right, yeah.
All of those were big. That was 2 firsts and a second, but close to 3.
Well, how do you feel about it, RJ?
Yep.
Are you happy
The
it's the
Giannis.
Heat? I know the Celtics. I know a lot of people didn't want them going to the Celtics. What are your thoughts on that?
I think when you look at it now, I think for some they would probably say that they prefer him to go to Miami rather than Boston. I think he would have been on a much better squad had he went to Boston. Jimmy Haslam was afraid by the fact that Jaylen Brown may have asked out of Milwaukee had he gone. But is Giannis on a better team than he was in Milwaukee? I mean, so you're 43-39 last year, you being the Miami Heat.
Yep.
Giannis is what? Is he making you a 50 win team?
Yep,
I mean,
fair.
when you look at that roster, you're gonna have to try to fill it out, but the fill out is kind of what is perplexing me. I don't know if you're filling this out with a lot of older veterans who are going to be, hey, I'm going to take less because I really believe in the fact that this team has a chance to win a championship, or are you going to now try to fill this with young guys because you certainly need shooting?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what Miami's able to do this offseason. I think Giannis got his wish where he wanted to go, and this is really going to be like a wait and see. But I mean, for me, it was exciting. Like, ooh, Giannis is on the move, and then you just kind of see what Miami had to give up, and you look at the Miami Heat right now, and you put the covers back over yourself, and you say, listen, I'm going to go to bed because I'm not scared at all of the monster that's supposed to be under my bed. That monster being the Miami Heat and Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's hilarious.
Does his brother try to get on the plane with him?
The meme that's been going around right now has been the Uncle Phil meme in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when, Will's like, man, what are we going to do? And, Uncle Phil's like, we, like that's how I'm feeling with the Nassus right now. Like, Giannis gave you everything in the world. You're fine. You want to go play in Greece? Do that. But we're going to Miami. No, I'm going to Miami. That's
right.
All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Frank, there were a couple of things we didn't get to today. Josh Pate put out his top 10 SEC coaches. John Sumrall is 10th.
That's wrong.
It's he should be number one.
Even though he's never coached a game in the SEC in his life, never coached a game in Florida in his life. Why is he not first, Taylor? What the hell? What are we doing?
This seems biased to me.
What are we doing?
Know.
But it's exciting, obviously, that he's included in that.
Yeah,
and then the PGA Tour announced today that they're going to have basically relegation.
That's a gigantic story. In fact, I think it's one of the biggest stories of the day. Lee Smith, we're going to bring Lee in today rather than Thursday because he knows it so well. He works for the tour, obviously, and he's a shining star at the tour, and he's probably talks golf, as you know, Lauren, better than anybody we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to break it down. That is a gigantic story that starting in 2028. The PGA Tour is going to have 2 tours, a Champions Tour and a Challenger Tour.
Yeah.
And if you're not in the top 90, and I'm going to get this wrong, so Lee, if you're listening, correct me. But if you're not in the top 90, you get relegated to the Challenger Tour. And the top 10, 15, whatever the Challenger Tour get promoted to the Champions Tour. Now, there's a lot more pieces to that.
Yeah.
But that's the thesis statement, and it's a It's a gigantic. It's one of the biggest stories in the world of golf that I can ever remember.
European soccer, right? You
Yes.
play up,
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
you knock that. Wow.
That's what Tommy wants for college football.
Yeah,
It is.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And right now, Florida would have been playing Sanford. We'd have been playing Sanford in Western Kentucky. And Campbell, right? So, but it's a gigantic story in golf.
It
It
is.
really is.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm very interested to see what comes out.
And
of it.
then speaking of Thursday, may as well tell everybody.
Yeah, you getting wild at Lemon Bar?
Yeah.
Listen. Okay. You
That's my
listen,
stomping
you
ground.
listen to me, okay?
I can't believe they sent you guys and not me.
The problem, here's the thing. When I leave the Lemon Bar, will I not have to stumble across the road to go see Taylor at the Lynch's? Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
that's
get
all.
down the
You know where
road, come
Taylor's
say
going to be.
hey.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to go to the Lemon Bar.
That'll be a
You going to
blast.
come out? You live close. You could live close. You guys coming
I
by?
live right down the street, but
You
you know,
guys-
Lynch's and the Lemon Bar aren't near each other. Just for the record.
Dang it.
It's
Dang
okay.
it.
Dang it.
We
I
know
thought
what you
I
meant.
thought I had a good
Right
line.
by
Well, they're
you.
kind
You
of.
It's like a town away.
You
It's
would be
okay.
stumbling pretty far down.
Let me just tell you this, Tom.
Yeah.
I've been to both, but it's been about 25 years.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. So,
Well, I'll come to Lemon Bar and
within
hang
the
out
last
with you.
25 years, I've been to both.
There
But
you go.
you've got World Cup fever, and you're going to be there ahead of the World Cup game.
Yes, I do. And I, by the way, I really haven't been to Lemon Bar a lot of years, but it's the most fun place in the world
Oh,
when you
it's
go.
fantastic.
It's still great.
It's
It's
awesome.
really fun. So
Yeah.
go.
Now,
yeah.
if you really want to live, Frank,
Yeah.
when you're done at the Lemon Bar, walk down, take a right, and go into Pete's just
Okay.
for a little bit.
Okay, I've been to Pizza Time
Oldest
or two.
bar in the
Okay, that
world.
might be 28 years.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
since
Yeah,
I've been there.
yeah.
You'll be shocked of
Yeah.
how much it's changed
Has
in
it
the 28
changed?
years. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you guys, you remember Frank's place down at the beach? He used to
Yeah.
have
Of
this great
course.
basketball court.
Well,
in it.
well, we had a great basketball court until. Let me tell you what you don't do. Can I tell you what you don't do? If you have a little enclosed basketball court, if you have that, and can I give you advice? If you ever open a sports bar and you have and you got a little piece of wood and you enclose, you got this basketball, never invite an NFL linebacker and his brother.
Two brothers.
But it was one brother that I thought, we were going to have to rebuild the place. Okay. Tommy and his brother. Do you know the story?
I do not.
Tommy and his brother go in there. It's just a free throw shooting thing. We're not
Yeah.
supposed to play one-on-one Greco-Roman wrestling or MMA or anything else that was
Is this
going
Mike
on
or
there.
Bob?
Both. Mike and Bob. But Bob was the problem.
They were going at it. I'm thinking, well, how much damage? We're out of money. We're about to go out of business. I don't know if we can rebuild the wall or not. So, but
I think we tried to play 21 or something inside that little tiny thing. It wasn't bigger than this room.
I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up.
Street.
People that weren't watching heard the banging in there.
Oh, yeah.
So they what's going on
What's
there?
happening?
Frank, do you know those guys? Yeah, I know one of them. It's all right.
It's fine.
But
That's
I'm
some
looking forward to going to
McManuses.
Lynch. It's going to be an awful lot of fun. It really is. So, but yeah, today talk a lot about the golf, all kind of stories. The Brendan Sorsby story.
Yeah.
He's now not going to be able to play in the NFL. The NCAA made a decision about older players. So a lot going on coming up today.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Frank. That'll do it for us. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Yeah.
There are many ways to experience 1010XL.
The key to this whole thing is their computer.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Get me that computer program. Yes, sir.
At 1010XL.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty,